Hello, big shavers, how we doing? You alright? Mike here with another shaving video. As I've just posted up on the group before, I have in my hands something very special. This is a restored Wade and Butcher that I've literally received in the post after work today. So I'm just going to do a quick show it off, for want of a better word, really. This is my new toy, and I'm just going to give it, just talk about it for a minute and then have a quick shave with it and tell you all my initial impressions. Basically, I don't know if you can see that from the end there. Those of you who know a little bit about straight razors there, that's pretty much a full wedge. All the other ones I own are sort of half ground and 3/4 hollow straights, really, which means the wedge comes down at a constant angle like that. The hollow grounds, the more hollow they are, start off fat at the top and they sort of come to a point and then are very thin at the top there. So if you imagine, some of them are almost shaped like a single edge razor blade, very flat, and then off to a big peak at the top there. This just sort of comes down like that. Originally the old scales were some sort of yellow plasticky things. They're actually they looked quite nice actually. I was like, oh, it's a shame to get rid of them. But I emailed Jamie, the guy who sharpened some of my straight razors, and I told him what I wanted to do, and he got back to me and he said, yeah, no bother. I've actually got a nice little bit of ebony, so I'm making some ebony scales with that, and I've got some red spacers and some stainless steel pins. So I said, yeah, that sounds nice, yeah. That'd be great if you could do that for me. Anyway, I don't know if I don't think the lighting in here or the camera is going to do this thing justice, but it is an absolute work of art. I am absolutely beside myself with it. I mean, if you could have told me that those things were bought in, and it's an absolute testament to Jamie's craftsmanship. They look absolutely superb. I'm just looking for any sort of imperfections or blemishes on the things, and they're not. They're straight as an arrow. I mean, you can't see it on there. I don't think you'll be able to make it out, but I mean, there's absolutely no overhang with the spacer at the end or anything. They are absolutely spot on. It looks absolutely superb. So I'm really, really happy with it. The blade itself, like I say, it's an old Wade and Butcher, probably about 1890, 1900. I don't know if you'll be able to see the etching on there, but he's managed to salvage most of the etching on it as well. He's just taken off a little bit of the writing at the bottom there, but I'm not really too overly concerned with that. I mean, when you have a look at the thing as well, just the quality of the steel and stuff like that really doesn't matter very much, and you've still got the writing on the spine there. But basically, the etching says, "You lather well, I'll shave well." So I'm going to put that to the test now. I've had a shower and then run around like a blue ass fly, so negated all the benefits I have of having a still wet face. I've got a bit of top sandalwood lather with an pre-soaked Omega ball brush. Don't know if you saw my video the other week, but I was saying about using Prince shaving cream, the Lush stuff, as a pre-shave. So I've done that. So hopefully I should have a relatively soft beard. Get my towel. Hot towel on the face, just soak it just for 10 seconds or so, just to get some moisture onto my beard before I lather up, and we'll give it a bash. Like I said, I'm not really nervous because I think my technique has improved considerably over the last few weeks using a straight, but it's a full hollow, it's a wedge, not a hollow ground razor, so I've never used one of those before. So that was another reason A, why I purchased it, and B, why maybe my levels of apprehension are slightly higher than they would be normally, just because I've never used one. I actually remembered to soak my ball brush again today, and it's great. I think, if anything though, it's a little bit big because I'm a scruffy beggar and it just goes flying around everywhere. I do actually quite like the look of those chubby brushes, the Simpsons Chubby. Quite fancy a silver tip as well, even though, just because they're very, very soft. They do have a Best Badger, and I actually do quite like the scratchiness of the backbone of this, but I think if I got a chubby with a silver tip, it'd have enough backbone, but be nice and soft as well. And just the diameter of the things, just the dimensions mean that I probably wouldn't get lather absolutely everywhere. So as you can see, I'm just a mess. I think it's because I'm talking as well. Whilst I'm doing this, I'm not really paying attention, but I look like I've been in funhouse or something. I look like an absolute mess. So anyway, please excuse me if I'm not talking so much over the next minute or two, because I'm just going to actually take this thing to my face now. Just making sure my hands are nice and dry before I hold the blade. And I've got my thing I used to soak my face with. I'm going to use that just to wipe the thingy off. Now, I did actually send some blades off to Mike to get sharpened before I sent him the restore, and they were absolutely brilliant. They were razor sharp, so the sharpness of the blade isn't really an issue. I'm just going to make sure now that the technique's down, just see if there's any feel, if it feels any different to a hollow ground. Now, one of the things they do say is that they don't sing as much. You don't get as much auditory feedback from a wedge as you do from a hollow ground one. So we'll have a listen and find out. I've got 3 days growth on my face as well. I shaved on Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. So nice and stubbly. Anyway, I'll shut up and I'll actually get on with it for a minute. Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's not singing. Again, though, it's quite strange because I've probably not gone 3 days without shaving since I started using a straight, so it feels very different. Initial impressions are all quite good, pretty good. Yeah, just give me a minute. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm starting to get the use of it now. Yeah, it is a little bit different, but again, it's probably going to take me a few shaves to really sort of get the hang of this thing, but oh my. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Got the swing of it now. I'm just giving it a very light pass on the sort of hand towel that I've got there at the bottom, and then just dunking it in some water just to keep the blade nice and wet, which I'm probably going to stop doing actually because it's making my hand wet, and if I drop this I will cry quite a lot, so I'm going to stop doing that. Yeah, it's really starting to eat through that stubble. Technically going down all the way across my face there like that, I am actually technically doing against the grain passes on some parts of my face. And it's really not bothered, it's just absolutely slicing through that. No bother. Just rotate that over. Actually shaved off the goatee on Saturday or Sunday. No, on Friday or Saturday. It was Saturday. And not over enamoured with the look, to be honest with you. I think I look better with a bit of a goatee. So we're going to come back. That's going to come back in.